The book of Psalms, chapter 64 and verse 1, a psalm of David. Hear my voice, O Most High, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. I'm going to stop right there. I want to start off as always by giving all praise, all honor, all glory unto YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham Rakha Kodash. A double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of YAHAWAH, bahasham YAHAWASHI. That Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect out there, whoever you might be. And Shalom to the 144,000. It's the brother Amawan Padaf from the GMS Denver camp, doing a lesson in regards to the fact that we are fully aware of Esau and his secret counsels. All right. We are fully aware of Esau and his secret counsels, man. Meaning we understand that Esau, the so-called devil, has different meetings and different task force that he has aligned against certain individuals in this society that speak out against his wicked ways. The main one being the prophets, man. We're the main target of these damn devils in these last days. And don't for a second think that they're not watching us, that they don't have government spies and agents that are, looking into our lives and whatnot. All right. You got to be aware of this, man. King David knew about this, man. All right. And we get this wisdom from the scriptures. He was praying to the Lord to hide him from the secret counsel of the wicked. All right. You better believe these devils got all kind of nefarious plots and plans against those who believe in YAHAWASHI, especially as we near closer and closer to the end of his society. The more he's being exposed for the devil that he is. All right. They're not just sitting back. All right. But it's all good. We ain't got to fear. All right. The Lord is with us. All right. But I want to get into an article that I came across real quick, and we'll get back into this Psalm 64. Okay, so here's a news article that I came across. All right, it's from USA Today. And it says, how much does the government know about you? Likely more than ever. Civil liberties advocates say that the Trump administration's data collection and sharing endanger Americans' constitutional rights. All right. It says, for decades, the government has been able to watch where you drive and where you walk. It can figure out where you shop, what you can buy, or it's like what you buy, and with whom you spend time. It knows how much money you have, where you worked at, and in many cases, what medical procedures you've had. It can figure out if you've attended a protest or bought marijuana. It can even read your emails if it wants. But because of all those data points about you were scattered across dozens of federal, state, and commercial databases, it wasn't easy for the government to build a comprehensive profile on your life. That's changing fast. And these devils know everything, man. All right, the very cell phone that you have is a spy tool. It's a data collection tool. All right. And excuse me. And through your credit cards and things like that, every time you swipe your credit card, all right, that's, a way that Esau can know what you buy, when you buy it. All right. All this data is collected on us, man, on the American citizens. And they're coming out and saying it, but we've been known this, man. It's not anything new. Okay. It's not anything new. We know that they're watching, man. They're watching the prophets. They know our names. They know where we live. They know where we work at. All right. And those of you that are on the comment boards, they know all this information about you as well through your IP address. They can trace it back to you. All right. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices, as the scriptures also tell you. All right. And you shouldn't let this make you become paranoid, but just know. All right. It's mentioned in the scriptures, man. It says, with the help of big tech, in just a few short months, the Trump administration has expanded the government surveillance state to a whole new level as the president and his allies chase down illegal immigrants and suspected domestic terrorists, while simultaneously trying to slash federal spending they've deemed wasteful and keep foreigners from voting. And in doing so, privacy experts warn the federal government is inevitably scooping up, sorting, combining, and storing data about millions of law-abiding Americans The vast data storehouses, some of which have been targeted for access by Elon Musk's Doge teams, raise significant privacy concerns and the threat of cybersecurity breaches. Okay. What makes the Trump administration's approach so chilling is that they are seeking to collect and use data across federal agencies in ways that are unprecedented, said Cody Vance, a senior policy counsel with the American Civil Liberties Union. The federal government's collection of data has always been a double-edged sword. So that's the point right there. You know what I'm saying? They're collecting data on millions of American citizens. And I've been on this. All right. We understand that. But they had the Department of Homeland Security spying on people ever since, like, what, 9/11. They've really ramped it up. You know, you probably got people at your job watching you, you know, all type of different things, man. All right. But it's all good because we know that we're not doing anything wrong, man. All right. But we also understand that, you know, the way technology has been developing, they plan on framing and, you know, building up cases against certain individuals like they always do. This AI situation, man, you know, they're showing videos of AI images that look real. They can use this to try to, you know, demonize the men of the Lord, man. That's something that's been talked about, you know, as of lately. People are concerned about that, man. They have concerns of being framed by the government using AI to take their likeness and their voice and create false images to bring charges upon people, man. All right. So all these things, man, show you that this is not our rest. Let's get that precept real quick. All right. So here we have right here the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction." So the main point is that this is not our rest. All right. This is not our rest, man. You know, in the kingdom of heaven, we're not going to have to worry about Esau spying on us through our cell phones and our computers and tracking everything that we do. All right. We're not going to have to worry about that in the kingdom, man. All right. Underneath the second covenant, you know, yeah, Israelites talking about we in the second covenant already. All right. Nah, man. This is not our rest. This is like, you know, a prison. All right. And I mentioned in previous lesson that just like in prison, all right, the inmates are monitored. All right. Everything is watched carefully. They're doing the same thing with you unsuspecting citizens, man. All right. Especially those who are serving YAHAWASHI. All right. They're hurt, man, by this word coming out. Let's get a precept on that. We'll jump back to Psalm 64 real quick because it says more. All right, here we have the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 11. "And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them." All right, that's talking about the Israelites waking up, man. After a period of time, all right, the Israelites will wake up in these last days. Hence the Great Awakening. All right, we're waking up to the fact that we are the people of the scriptures, man, the chosen people of the Most High, Yahawah, through his son YAHAWASHI. All right. And because of that, these devils, all right, the Edomites, especially the higher up, the elites, they're afraid, man, because this signifies their end. The very fact that we've woken up to who we are, came back to our true identity, all right, it puts fear in these devils, man, that are, you know, higher up, because they understand what this means for their society. All right. This means that our Lord YAHAWASHI is near to return to take them down and put them into captivity forever. And eventually they're going to be eradicated. All right. So great fear has fell upon these devils because of the Great Awakening. And the truth is everywhere, man. You got celebrities talking about the truth now. You got, you know, the internet flooded, you know, TikTok, Instagram, these social media sites are flooded with Israelites speaking on the truth. All right. They might not have all of it. All right. You got a lot of bug outs out there that don't have the full truth, but they know that they're the Israelites. And they know that these, a lot of them know that these devils, all right, so-called white man, are the Edomites, man. Okay. For the most part. So they got to do something, man. They got to have to come with that sword, and part of their sword is, you know, deception, coming with false narratives and lies to demonize those who are speaking against them. So understand that, man. All right. That's why they got these different government spy agencies collecting data on certain individuals, man. All right. You got, these people that speak out against these small hatters. All right. They're being watched. All right. And in the article, it tells you that they can track to see if you've been to a protest. All right. They know all that. They can collect your cell phone data. All that, man. But still, we're going to preach the truth, man. Because though we're being watched by these devils, the Lord is watching their ass. It tells you about that. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. All right. So they're being watched by the angels, and they're seeing the angels in the heavens. All right. They're even being watched down here on the earth, man. There are angels that are amongst us. And this terrifies Esau. But anyway, let's get back to that Psalm 64 real quick. All right, so back in Psalms chapter 64, we left off at verse 2. All right, this is verse 3. It says, who whet their tongue like a sword. And that word wet means to sharpen. And that's what these devils do, man. They come with different words. They put in their news media, different buzzwords to try to demonize certain demographics. All right, and you Israelites, man, are under the sword right now. All right, Israelites are being demonized in the news media every day, man. This whole thing with the immigrants. All right, they're calling all you so-called Latinos, Native Americans, they're calling you illegals, even though some of you have been granted citizenship. They were born here, birthright citizens. They try to come with all type of different things to say that you're criminals and you're the problem of society and you need to be deported. And in the news media, people eat that shit up, man. Especially these devils, these Joe Six-Pack motherfuckers, these regular average Edomites. They see that and they eat it up, man. That's how Esau demonizes certain people. He uses his tongue, his words, all right, to make you seem like a threat. They're going to do the same thing to the Southern Kingdom. They're already doing it. All right, they're painting you out to be criminals and degenerates to the point where no matter where you go, no matter who you are, you be an upstanding citizen, but people will look at you like how they paint you in the media. All right, they'll think you're a criminal just because they're showing all these damn Pookies and Ray Rays on the news media constantly, in the movies and TV shows and whatnot, the music. So it's part of their sword, man. All right, we're gonna say that we're domestic terrorists because we speak this word of YAHAWASHI because we read the Bible and break it down correctly. All right, they're gonna come with all kind of different accusations and shit, man. So it says, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. There you go. All right. Verse 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. The perfect will be the elect. All right. Though we're not perfect in the flesh. All right. We're serving the Lord's purpose perfectly, in the spirit, man. Okay. You see, we're out here preaching this word and glorifying the name of YAHAWASHI on the earth and condemning this wicked and sinful kingdom, starting with the Edomites. So they want to shoot at us, man. They want to take us out. They want to take us down, man. So they got, and Esau's a cunning hunter, as it tells you in the scriptures, man. All these different alphabet agencies they got set up, man. You better believe they're watching us, man. All right. And if you don't believe that, then you're naive. And they plan on coming at us with force at some point in time. Matter of fact, I want to play a quick video clip that I came across yesterday that shows a little bit of this already happening. So here's a video from the channel Arrows of Indignation 144. All right, this brother posts a lot of videos that pertain to prophecy, and he has this video titled "The Beginning of Sorrows." And that's where we're at. In the beginning of Jacob's trouble, man. These devils getting ready to come down with great wrath. So let's go ahead and play this clip.
They are wearing masks because they are not actually federal law enforcement officers. Let me repeat that again. They are wearing masks because they are not actually federal law enforcement officers. They are local, white, supremacist groups that are volunteering their services to take out brown people. This.
All right, now I'm gonna pause it right there. I want to make another point. All right, because what you're seeing right here, this guy, all right, they're saying that he's not even a real law enforcement agent. You know, he's just a local Edomite. You know what I'm saying? Going out there, rounding up, you tribes. You know what I'm saying? You know, especially of the Northern Kingdom, the so-called Latinos. All right, they're on that, immigration, deportation campaign right now, heavy. All right, because they know who we are, man. All right, this is the beginning of Jacob's trouble, man. This is the beginning of sorrows, as the scriptures tell us. All right, but they also got the alphabet boys out there too. All right, waiting to strike. Let's go ahead and play this.
This man was spotted in the ICE raid in Minneapolis today. The vast majority of those agents, whether they were ICE, DHS, AFT, or local police, were unmasked.
Here to follow the law, to come here to renew the work permit, to come here to get asylum, and we're abducted by the Proud Boys and the KKK. I am not afraid to tell them in their faces who they are. That's who they are. And the press, you saw their tactics. How the Chicago Police Department takes no issue on these Gestapo individuals coming and stepping on an elected official. Who did they protect and who did they serve? These are people who came to renew the work permits and were abducted. I'll give you one of few cases. Now we have a mother who came in here to renew the work permit. We have a 10-year-old boy now without a mother. Shame. Who is going to take care of that mother now, or that child? So if you think that this does not concern you, let me tell you something else. These Proud Boys, these Gestapo cowards who come to our city to stand on people's rights, you know what it does when they're doing it? Because they're getting bonuses to do it. Your tax dollars are paying $42,000 per Proud Boy to conduct these shameful actions. $1 billion to pay these shameful individuals. I call on these masked individuals to unmask themselves. Right. Unmask yourself if you are so proud of what you're doing. Right. Unmask yourself. We saw how many mothers came in. Almost 20 people, working people, being treated as criminals. The real criminals are in the White House.
So let me put this simpler.
Okay, so you heard that, man. All right, there was a recent ICE raid that I heard about recently that took place in a restaurant, man, an Italian restaurant, and the individuals that were arresting and apprehending, all right, those so-called Latinos, you know what I'm saying, the Israelites of the Northern Kingdom, that were working in their restaurant. All right, the individuals that were grabbing them up were masked up, man, hiding their faces and whatnot. Okay, it was a targeted strike, man. All right, but the thing is that they were going to work that day, like every day, thinking it's gonna be a normal day. But these damn devils were lurking and watching and waiting to strike, man. That's exactly what happened. This happens all the time, man. They're doing this whole thing with trying to deport quote unquote illegal immigrants. All right, we know what it is, man. We know what it is. It's a tactic that these devils use to try to justify them persecuting the Israelites, man. That's what it is. It's persecution. Okay. So if they're running down on people that are just going to work, doing their jobs, how much more the men of the Lord, man, those who are speaking the words of YAHAWASHI. All right. They're going to eventually come for us as well. But anyway, let's go ahead and play this a little bit more.
Since TikTok is restricting every single post I put out, if governors do not deploy their National Guard to secure their city streets, there will be armed rebellion all across the nation. The intimidation and the violence is escalating, perpetrated by Homeland Security, FBI, DEA, and ATF. And people are starting to push back. And contrary to what Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, and eventually Carolyn Leavitt will tell you, this pushback has been mostly peaceful so far. But we are literally living on top of a powder keg. And my request to the governors who command control of their National Guard is to de-escalate what is currently being escalated by the federal government, to prevent an armed rebellion. And to be frank, the governors should have done this 4 months ago. The moment that HSI, DEA, FBI, ATF, and mass unknown accomplices We're seeing abducting people off of the street with no judicial warrant and trapping immigrants in court while they're going through the legal process to secure their residency. Because when peaceful revolution is impossible, violent revolution is inevitable. So do your duty, governors, and try to de-escalate violence. Support and defend the Constitution against enemies foreign and domestic.
Shame! 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 Shame!
All right, so yeah, man, you see what's going on here, man. So that's a big thing that's going on. And I ain't really intend this to be, a news and prophecy lesson, but, Spirit is moving how it's moving. And wants, to bring this situation out as well, man. This is what's going on right now, man. These devils are hurt, man. They coming after the tribes, man. All right, they're coming into your neighborhoods, man, through the alphabet agencies and whatnot. Look at them armed. All right, you see. Let's go back to the Psalm 64 before we continue on. All right, we left off at verse 4. All right, where it says they shoot suddenly at him. Right. You see, this is verse 5 where it says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares, right, or traps privately. They say, who shall see them? That's what they do. That's what these devils do, man. All right. They lay traps and snares for you. All right. And they hide themselves, man. That's why they got the mask on and whatnot. All right. These devils are very sneaky. They're cowards. They have that spirit of the serpent on them. All right. You see? But we know what you're doing, Esau. We know that you got us targeted, man, through the spirit of YAHAWASHI. Now it says, verse 6, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. So they're looking for anything to try to demonize you and blame you, especially us as the men of the Lord. That's why we're going to conduct ourselves, all right, in manners that reflect the ways of YAHAWASHI, man. Pretty much, being upstanding citizens and not doing anything to get the ministry blamed, all right, because they're looking, man. They're watching everything, all right. You see, and they're watching to the point where they're even going to try to frame some of us, man, falsely. All right, they probably got your car mic'd up, bugged or, with a tracker on it. All right, they know where we're at, man. All right, they probably got your apartment, mic'd up or hidden cameras in it. You know what I'm saying? Look, Esau does all these things, man. You can't be naive to think that he doesn't, man. All right, some people might say, oh, y'all being paranoid. Y'all being paranoid. Nah, man. They spend billions of dollars on these things, man. All right. Go on YouTube and type in, FBI informants and things like that come out, and tell you about the things that they've been involved in while working for these different agencies, man. They look, this damn devil is the devil, man. All right. It says the heart of them is deep, man. That they go deep into their wickedness. They go deep into these things, man. Verse 7. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So the Lord gonna take them out, man. That's the good news of this whole situation. All right, we're being harassed, we're being watched, we're being monitored, we're being spied on. We're having agents sent to the camps. All right. We even had a brother that was almost murdered. We believe that was an agent that was sent to try to take him out, out there in LA. All right. You see, they want to take us off the map because we're exposing them, man. But they're not going to succeed. The Lord's going to step in and deal with them, man. It says, verse 8, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. It's coming out right now, man. Even a lot of their own people are becoming whistleblowers and, exposing different things, different underhanded tactics that they use to oppress the poor. All right. And, shameful spewing is being brought upon his glory as we speak. All right. As prophesied. Verse 9. And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, and shall trust in him. And all the upright in heart shall glory. That's right, man. We ain't doing nothing wrong. All right. They're sending these different spies and different task force to monitor the men of the Lord and the true believers and whatnot. But we still gonna glory in YAHAWASHI because we're the upright in heart. They're the wicked. You understand? And there is a recompense for their wickedness, and there's a reward for us pursuing righteousness, man. And that's that.
Yeah, back up! Back up! Shame! 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 Shame!
All right, this is in San Diego, California. All right. You have the citizens, pretty much standing up against these goddamn cowards, man, who are raiding restaurants and people that are working hard to try to pay for their families. You know what I'm saying? This is part of Esau attacking the poor, man. All right. And there's a resistance even now, but they're going to come with more lethal force in the days that are ahead of us, man. All right. But let's go ahead and continue on. Hey, you see the vehicle that they came in, all right? A Sprinter van, they use different vehicles, these undercovers, you know what I'm saying? These agents of Esau, all right? And they probably got some in your neighborhood, man. Not being paranoid, but look, man, this is the truth. This is what they do, man. This is what they do. You don't think that they're doing that right now? Against the men of the Lord, you don't think they got agents in our neighborhoods, man? Monitoring and watching and recording? All right? Yeah, man, this is where we at. This is the reality. All right, this is what comes with serving YAHAWAH, bahasham. Shit, they sent for spies to watch YAHAWASHI. We're not greater than our Lord, man. Let's get a precept on that. All right, here we have that scripture that I mentioned right here real quick. The book of Luke, chapter 20 and verse 20. It says, and they watched him and sent forth spies, which should feign themselves just men, that they might take hold of his words, all right, that so they might deliver him unto the power and authority of the governor. That's what they did in the ancient times, man, to our Lord, man. They sent for spies, all right, the ancient FBI and CIA and all that shit to try to catch him up, all right, and he was innocent, all right. They're going to do the same thing to us. They're doing it now, man. They're probably trying to build cases on brothers and whatnot, falsifying evidence and, making different shit up, man. All right. So anyway, man, that's the point on that, man. Let's go back to that video. And I want to also get into Psalms, the 10th chapter as well.
Mi abogada viene en camino.
Pero, disculpe, ¿tiene una orden? ¿Tienen una orden? ¿Me puedo ir? Ah, bueno, que lo haga, por puto. Que hágala ahí.
I can't reach it. It's up by her. Here you go.
once again, you can see they're in undercover vehicles. All right, looking like regular vehicles. All right, they parked, I'm sure, outside of that housing area where they were planning on grabbing those individuals up. All right, now they're doing this, saying they're getting out illegal immigrants and whatnot. But you don't think they're going to do the same thing to the men of the Lord, man, who are prophesying and preaching his word, man? And you true believers who are watching the videos, man, come on, man. They got a list of people they're getting ready to go after. This is why we pray to the Lord to protect us and guide us, and in these times we're coming into, man, because it's finna get crazier. All right, this is finna ramp up. A lot of these times they don't even have official warrants, man. Just grabbing people up, man. All right, in unmarked cars and shit like that, man. This is where we at, man. But y'all talking about this is our arrest, right? Yeah, right. All right, so real quick, we had the book of Psalms, chapter 10. I'm going to read through it fairly quickly, but it shows you what we're dealing with here, all right? And it says, verse 1, why standest thou afar off, O YAHAWAH, bahasham YAHAWASHI? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? And it seems like that, man. But the Lord is watching over everything. He's the one that's bringing forth what you're seeing right here. He's bringing forth the time of Jacob's trouble. All right, but as the hopeful elect, we're calling out for the Lord to protect us in this time that we're coming into, in which these devils are going to, come down having great wrath upon the tribes. And it says, verse 2, the wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. All right, and we see them persecuting the poor, man. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord YAHAWAH abhorreth. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. And these devils, there's not a righteous bone in these devils' bodies, all right? They don't give a damn about doing evil or wickedness. Verse 5, his ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. All right, and that's a form of Esau puffing at his enemies, man, being the 12 tribes. All right, just arresting and detaining people without warrants. That's Esau trying to flex, man. Verse 6, he hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. And that's what these devils think. They feel like they're not going to get punished for what the fuck they're doing, man. All right, there's a time of judgment that's coming for you devils, man. Believe that. Verse 7, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. Check this out. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privately set against the poor. Now, if that don't describe these devils, I don't know what will, man. All right, that's exactly what's going on right here. All right, you get his undercover agents, you got Donald Trump and the government spending all this money on surveillance and whatnot. That's them right there doing this right here, man. His eyes are privately, secretly set against the Israelites, man, who are, we're the poor, man. All right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians. All right. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. Just like that cunning hunter, man, that Esau is. All right, he has his eyes set against those who are not even trying to come up against him, man. All right, the Northern Kingdom that you saw being arrested, man, the majority of them are just hardworking people, man, trying to get their living. All right, earning wages to provide for their families, man. Now, not all of them are innocent, but Esau uses just a few criminals to attack the rest of the population, man. Verse 10, he croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. His strong ones are what? His military personnel. Okay, the alphabet agencies that you see armed to the teeth, jumping out and arresting, people at their jobs and whatnot, man, without warrants. You see, he had said in his heart, the Most High hath forgotten. He hideth his face, he will never see it. And that's what they feel like, man. They feel like they're gonna just get away and ride off into the sunset for all the shit that they're doing. But that's not the truth. They're gonna get paid back for everything that they're doing underhandedly. From the time, of old, even unto this day. They gotta pay for everything they've done to the Israelites, man. Okay? Even from the ancient times. Arise, O Yahawah, bahasham YAHAWASHI, O Most High. Lift up thine hand, forget not the humble. Who are the humble? The elect of Israel, man. Those who are serving Yahweh, bahasham YAHAWASHI. All right? And the Lord has not forgotten us, man. Verse 13. Wherefore doeth the wicked contemn the Most High? He had said in his heart, thou wilt not require it. Yeah, he feel like he ain't gonna ever be caught, man. Let's get a quick precept on that. Hold on. Here's a quick precept. All right. Right here, Nahum chapter 1 and verse 3. The Lord Yahawah, bahasham YAHAWASHI, is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. You see, he's not gonna let him off the hook, man. He said he's not at all gonna acquit the wicked. The wicked being Esau, Edom. All right. There's a judgment coming for them. The Lord Yahawah, bahasham YAHAWASHI, hath his way in the whirlwind. And the whirlwind that goes into the chariots, man. They're also considered whirlwinds. All right, in the scriptures. And they're watching these devils, man. It says, and in the storm and the clouds are the dust of his feet. All right, the Lord is in total control. All right. All right, continuing on back in Psalms 10, all right, verse 14. Thou hast seen it, for thou beholdest mischief and spite to requite it with thy hand. The poor committeth himself unto thee. Thou art the helper of the fatherless. Yeah, the Lord is our help, man. All right. When these devils rise up against us. Verse 15. Break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none. Yeah, and the Lord is going to require a judgment for all that wickedness that these devils have been doing in the earth, man. All right. And we're in that time. We're in the time of Esau getting his judgment, man. All right. We're going to, go through it. He's going to be allowed to get at the 2/3 of our people, the wicked of our people. All right. He's going to get at some of us as well, man. But it's only, for a trial of our faith. All right. But after he's done being used for judgment, because Esau's nothing more than a tool for judgment. It tells you that in Psalms 17 verse 13. Matter of fact, let's get that. Right here it is, right here in Psalm 17 verse 13. Arise, O Yahawah, bahasham YAHAWASHI, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. All right, the Most High is in control, man. Yahawah, bahasham YAHAWASHI is in control of these devils. All right, and that's knowledge that we have, man. That's the hopeful elect. And that gives us peace, knowing that these are controlled opposition. All right. But we're praying that the Lord cast his ass down, man. We're tired of Esau spying on us and, trying to demonize us from preaching his word, man. Eventually, the Lord is going to cast his ass down. All right. So continuing on in Psalms 10. All right. I'll read that verse 15 one more time, man. That's powerful. It says, break thou the arm of the wicked, meaning take his power, and the evil man, right? Esau, seek out his wickedness till thou find none. Verse 16, the Lord Yahawah, all right, bahasham YAHAWASHI is king forever and ever. The heathen are perished out of his land. All right, and there's Salakia. The heathen that are in our land right now are those 1948ers. All right, they're going to perish out of that land as well. They're going to receive their judgment for perpetrating to be us. All right. Verse 17. Yahawah, bahasham YAHAWASHI, thou hast heard the desire of the humble. Thou wilt prepare their heart. Thou wilt cause thine ear to hear. And the Lord is hearing the prayers of the righteous, man. He's hearing the prayers of the humble to cast these devils down, finally to take them out of power. All right. So that we can actually have rest, man. All right. Like I said, in the kingdom, we're not going to have to worry about secret task force coming to raid our apartment buildings and snatch us out and detain us, just for being us. So that's not going to be a thing in the kingdom, but in this society, as you can see, that's a reality, man. All right, and we're asking the Lord to bring his ass down. Last verse, we're gonna close it out. Verse 18, to judge the fatherless and the oppressed. We're the oppressed, man. That the man of the earth may no more oppress. All right, because when Esau's taken down in the midst of World War III, he ain't gonna be able to oppress nobody no more, man. All right, you see? So Esau, he gonna get it in, man. He gonna use all his little agencies and his little alphabet task force and whatnot while he still can, but it's not gonna be for much longer, man. All right. So, you know, just a quick lesson I want to do through the Spirit, man. You know, hopefully you were edified. The Lord is watching over us, man. This is why you must repent, you Israelites, and come under the banner of YAHAWASHI. These devils are getting ready to come down with great wrath on all the tribes, man. All right, the Lord is watching over his elect. So I'm in it right there. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahawah, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham, rachakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh Basham Yahushua. And Kwame Yasharala and the Bible Ball. Shalom.